literally is neurologically priming me for the actual working set itself. But before that, what we'll do is crack on, guys. Crack on. Walk through. You're good. This is the downfall of obviously training at this time. You're gonna have everyone walking through.
There we go. What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. This is actually, in fact, a continuation video from the full day of eating. So if you haven't yet seen that video, I would encourage you to go over and watch that video beforehand. That basically, in conjunction with today's push workout, we'll go through the breakdown of my diet, and then this one we're going to be going through my push session. And as always, I like to try and be as authentic, raw, transparent with you guys. Even, now sitting in my car with that Sam Sulek-esque style introduction of this video, I'll be completely honest with all of you. Today's one of those sessions where you're not 100% feeling it in terms of motivation, whatever it may be. And I think often, especially with social media, YouTube, we can quickly fall into this false illusion of everyone on social media is constantly motivated 24/7, because YouTube in particular is just a snippet of the highlights, the good moments. Despite this being an actual low, this is just one of those days where I've had a lot to do back at home, and driving here to the gym, just like, I weren't really feeling it. I'm not really in that frame of mind to go in and get that session done. This is that time right now where you're right here in the moment. You've already overcome that initial hurdle of getting yourself in the car, driving down to the gym. So now that you're here, the way that you have to perceive this situation is you didn't show up just to take it easy. You didn't show up just to go through the motions. You've came to push yourself, to grow, and to earn the progress, the adaptations, whether that's muscle growth or if you're trying to lose body fat, whatever it may be. You've already done the hardest part, which is getting yourself here to the gym. So now the easy part is to get yourself in there and just put yourself through those motions. But every rep, every set, every drop set, every drop of sweat, all of it is a step towards the version of you that you're trying to create, that version of you that doesn't yet exist, but it will be there when you step out the gym afterwards. The version that you've built in those moments like this is what makes the difference between those who remain in the same position and those who are constantly striving to be better, those who are constantly evolving, adapting, and progressing, not only from a physical sense, but from a personal development perspective as well. When it gets hard, when you're tired, you still just have to go. You just have to get in there and you just have to get the job done. And you don't need perfect condition. You just need that commitment. I always say to all of my athletes, consistency is the biggest key. It doesn't really matter if you can't hit 100% optimality or perfection. I mean, perfection in and of itself is a false illusion anyway. It's a mirage. You can never actually truly achieve perfection. But as long as you keep showing up, that is all that matters. Every single day, you're putting one foot in front of the other. Some days it might be a side step. Some days it may be a step back and then a step forwards. Some days it may be 2, 3, 4 steps forwards. But as long as you are showing up every single day, trying, that's all you can do. So with that verbose ramble and rant over, let's get inside for today's push session. Let's focus, let's grow, let's dominate, and we'll do it together. Let's go.
Possibly picked the worst day to come and train. Well, more so the worst time than the worst day. Usually I like to train about midday, 1 o'clock. It's now 4 o'clock. So we have all the people who have finished work, finished school, all in at the same time, fun times. But hey ho, we're here. We get it done regardless. Oh, and that feels heavy. Right. So we're still warming up at the moment. We've got on here 140. My top set, I would say, is about 150, 160. So I often get asked, what's the best way to warm up for myself? I like to periodize up in loads, down in repetitions. So the way that would look is, if I know 150, 160 is going to be my top working set, I'm about one set away from that working set. So what I do here is, this would be my feeler set, where I literally will just do one set, one rep to get a feel for that load, and that's it. That literally is neurologically priming me for the actual working set itself. But before that, what we'll do is crack on, guys. Crack on. Walk through. Walk through. You're good. This is the downfall of obviously training at this time. You're gonna have everyone walking through. But in terms of periodizing up in load, down in repetitions, is so the first warm up set would be, maybe a plate either side, and I'll do anywhere from 10 to 12 repetitions. Just literally trying to get the blood flow, neurologically switching on, getting the motor units fired up, ready for recruitment of the actual working set itself. And I'll just keep incrementally increasing the loads. And as I'm doing that, the reps are going to come down. So that first set of 10 to 12, the second set will be maybe 6 to 8, then it will be 4 to 5 reps, and then eventually start moving into those feeler sets, which is what I'm doing now. So this being my last feeler set, it'll literally be the 3 plates, 1 rep, get a feel for the loads, neurologically switch on, priming myself for the actual working set. Oh yeah. Gonna need to put elbow sleeves on these old elbows. Okay. Oh, we'll take that. Let's see what we can do. Anything more than 11 is a non-negotiable. Oh, yeah. 13, we'll take that all day long. Oh. Little booster seat for my midget ass. That's a bit too high. I don't think I've ever said that in my entire life. Right, if I'm breathing ominously heavy down the mic, the most embarrassing part is, it's not even from the Smith press. I'm walking up the stairs. That's how unfit I am right now. But we're on to the second exercise, which is the converging press. Actually, one of my favorite movements in this gym, mainly for the profile. To work, converges in like so. There's not many other variations that you can use that can mimic this, apart from a horizontal cable press. Every other movement has like a parallel. Every other movement has like a parallel path of motion, which is just like train tracks. This one converges in. So as I'm coming out, it's diverging, getting nice and wide, and then converging comes in and get the peg as short as possible. But one more warm-up set, and then we'll go in. Oh, yeah. Oh. So with this particular variation, one thing that I always like to consciously be aware of is my wrist alignment. So when I'm coming back especially, I don't want to allow my wrist to bend up like that. I'm putting a lot of strain and stress on the wrist, so that potentially can become a limiting factor. So always make sure that the wrist joint is adjacent to the elbow joint in terms of that alignment. So as I'm coming back, I want to be like this. As I'm coming back, I don't want to be doing that. So you'll see that now as I go into the actual working set. If I do that, there's less stress on the wrist, and it can allow me to generate more force output. So basically, I'm stronger during the actual set, get more reps out of it as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Feeding the titty pump now. Yeah. Now I know most people are probably going to be in the comments saying, that's a very inefficient movement. You should be using the bench, have more stability for your spine, so then you have a greater force generating output. Yeah, I know that stuff. But like I said earlier, the gym's absolutely packed. All the benches are occupied at the moment. There is actually one spare, but I've got to weave and navigate through all these machines, all these people. So it's just faff that I can't really, truthfully be honest to deal with. So we're just going to do it on here. Sometimes, again, this is what I said earlier about perfection's not always going to be attainable. The same with optimality. When we're looking at profiling, when we're looking at exercise selection, we want to try and make them as efficient as possible, especially when we're looking at the stimulus to fatigue ratio of any particular movement. But in certain scenarios, like this one, as a prime quintessential example, you can't strive for that optimality. This is where you just have to think logically, think practically, and think, right, okay, what's the next best option? Would you rather just leave that movement out altogether, leave potential gains on the table, or just think, okay, well, I'll bite my tongue, this one, and I'll get something rather than nothing at all. That's the way that I like to look at it. So in we go with the inefficient cable press. And then, the other argument or the rebuttal would be Arnold did it, Dorian did it. It's a logical argument, enough said. sometimes the basics work. Because that was a gnarly pump. Whoa. Oh. The old delty delts now. Well, 84.3. Stat goes up to 91. We're close. We're close, guys. I reckon we're going to go for 86 today. But we need to warm up first. Otherwise, my shoulders are going to fall off. Oh, come on, let's match. Yep. Oh yeah. 83 kilos last week for 16. This week we've done 86 for 16. Ka-ching. Just a sprinkle bit of education on here as well. Two things. First point, some people might be curious as to why I have my hand orientation in this position instead of holding on to the handles. Simply, and this is not me being big-headed or condescending, but simply on the premise that I'm too big for this machine. I'm not big, I'm just too big for this machine. In general, I'm very small. But for this machine, for me to hold on in this position is very uncomfortable for me. And what's happening is I'm in an isometric position here, and that's going to accumulate a lot of lactate in the biceps. So as I'm going through the set, my biceps accumulate that lactate, get that horrible pump. It just interferes with the actual set itself. So having my hands out here allows me to not have that issue with the biceps. The second aspect is a lot of people think you always have to go parallel. So when you're moving with a side lateral, you have to stop here. You can't go any further because it's going to start recruiting traps. That's absolutely fine. Think of it like this, from the perspective of if you're trying to maximize systemic growth, you want to grow everything and anything. So if that's a little bit of trap involvement, especially when you're getting towards the end of that set and the medial delt itself is starting to fatigue out, allow the traps to come in. When you're looking at the anatomy of the rotator cuff, you've got the supraspinatus at the top, and its role mechanistically or anatomically is to pull. When you get into that position, it contracts and it helps with that shoulder horizontal abduction. So you're going to recruit those muscles there of the rotator cuff, and there's going to be some trap recruitment as well. That's absolutely fine. Who wouldn't want bigger traps? I mean, apart from my calves back in the day, one aspect that a lot of people used to comment on and compliment me on was my massive traps. Could it be down to this? Could it be a genetic component? Who knows? But as always, why leave anything on the table? It's getting very, very busy now in here. We've already done rope tricep extensions. We're now on to one of my favorite tricep variations, which is the cuff cable crossovers. This is a highly underrated variation for triceps. Oh, 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 the nervous system is getting taxed now. You can see me convulsing as I'm nearing failure. But 2 more sets on here, and then I think we're finito with today's push session. Wish me luck. Oh, we don't need it. There's no such thing as luck. Preparation meets opportunities. That is the definition of luck. Fuck. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't often get a decent pump when I train push, but tonight I'm going to rate that as one of my best pump sessions. All right, so that is a wrap on today's push session. Just refocus you guys. And to be completely honest with you guys, that was by far one of my best workouts that I've had. In fact, to the point where I said inside, that was most possibly one of the best pumps that I've had for my chest in a very long time. And those kind of pumps, especially for my chest, are very rare. So considering circumstantially, I didn't really want to come into today's workout. I didn't feel motivated. And then on top of that, I felt anxious with having to record today's workout. I went in there and had one of the best pumps, and I'm now walking out of the gym feeling significantly better. So this is a quintessential example, like anecdotally speaking, in the flesh, that there are going to be many days inevitably where you're not feeling 100%. You're not going to feel motivated to go to the gym. You're not going to feel motivated to meal prep and eat your meals across that day. If you're in prep and you have cardio to do, or if you have to go out and get your steps in, or even just in general life, if you've got your daily tasks that you need to complete within a given day, but you're not feeling 100%, if you're lackluster in that energy, that oomph, that enthusiasm, that motivation, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. You just have to take action. You have to continue. You have to just do the do. You have to put one foot in front of the other, because a lot of people have this misconception that they need to ascertain the motivation in order to create the actions, when it's the opposite way round. You just have to start. No matter how nuanced it may be, just starting, taking action in that moment will then create the motivation. Because coming out of that session, I now feel motivated. So I now want to go home and I want to do more things. I want to do more tasks. I want to get some work done. I want to do admin. I want to do content. There's so many things that I want to do now, because I've gone in there and ticked off one of my main prerequisites of the day. And I now feel significantly better for it. So use this next time that you're feeling unmotivated. Stop looking and trying to ascertain that motivation. Just start. Whatever it is that you need to get done in that day, just start and get it done. So hopefully that dialogue, the words of wisdom there, being all philosophical and esoteric, has helped you in any capacity. So on that note, we're going to wrap up this video here. And as always, guys, I appreciate you all for sticking around. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, week, month, year, whatever it may be, wherever you are in the world. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below if you struggle with motivation, and what are the small actions that you take to help you during those periods. Until the next episode, guys, I'll catch you around. Peace.